Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. TheRockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Welcome to the Aly Jenkins Mixed Doubles Memorial Cash Wheel here in Martensville. My name is Jason Chang. With me is David Wills. We are in Saturday night, 9 Central, 10 Eastern, and it's Tiebreakers. Our feature game, a Japanese battle, Matsumura and Tanida. Koana and Aoki. David, big match, number 4 and number 7 ranked in the world in mixed doubles. What are you expecting from this game?
Yeah, it's great to see these two teams up against each other, although I sometimes laugh when we have two teams from a foreign country that are playing on Canadian soil. They could come all this way to play, and then they end up playing each other. They could have done that.
Well, it's kind of like clubmates playing in a Bondsfield at a different club, right? This happens to us Canadians sometimes as well.
That's right. That's right. You play a team from your own club when you went somewhere else. That's a little bit different in terms of distance, but I know that they love to come over and play in these events. I'm not sure what to expect because I've been watching Matsumura and Tanida play, and they're really looking sharp, but they haven't had as much consistency. Last year, I would have told you that Tori, Koana, and Aoki would have beaten just about anybody in their path because they were just playing so well, and that's obviously resulted in their situation. Now they're 4th in the world. They're also headed for the qualifier, and I think their potential to play amazingly well is good, except that they haven't found their feet quite yet this season, it seems.
Yeah, and that's why they went through the preliminary round 2 and 2. Both these teams did, and that's what's brought them into this tiebreaker situation. You see Matsumura and Tanida, they do have last rock, the hammer in the first end. That's why they've got that stationary stone that's still there in the back of the forefoot. And that yellow guard is the opening stone, or that stationary stone that belongs to Koana and Aoki.
It's an interesting setup already. I mean, there's not a lot of opportunities to get rid of things in the forefoot. There's so much traffic out front. I have to have a quick look and see whether there's a way to get at least one more counter in there for yellow. I think they can do it with an intern, although I'm not sure what their approach is going to be. We have to. The disadvantage with mixed doubles is we have to try and guess sometimes what they're going to do because they're talking about it and they know what they're doing, but we don't see a skip with a broom. So.
That's right. Well, there is a lot of curl in this ice. There's quite sufficient curl to get in there with the intern draw if they like to do that. And I assume they did, draw on both sides of the sheet during the practice that they had before the match, so they should know this path.
Yeah, I totally agree. They're on an outside sheet here. I'm not sure if that always makes a difference, but one thing for us to be watching is how the ice curls to and away from the outside boards there. Oh, she's chosen the out turn.
I think maybe they're playing a guard because they're worried about something over here. Maybe the red tap. That's my guess right now is why they've gone to the out turn.
Yeah, the red tap, you're right, could definitely be used. They would have to get to the nose or even across the nose of the red. Well, now they're definitely blocked by this latest arrival. And Yasumasa is having to try and figure out from the front of the house. I think they're debating about how much they can remove essentially to clear the path and hopefully give themselves a chance to score more than one.
Yeah, if they can open up that red, that red onto the yellow, that yellow will pop sideways. It's not frozen on the face. It's a little bit off kiltered, so that will squirt sideways. And these rocks we've seen are very lively here in Martensville. So try to maybe clear out all three. I think the angle is there to clear out all three yellows if they hit it right.
And at least open up something. I mean, the plan B of these shots is always great to watch because you know something's going to happen and you're going to have some kind of new opportunity. And that worked out
They actually well, they lost all the red ones, unfortunately.
I was going to say that looked really great, and then wait a minute, hold on now, what have we got left? There's 2 yellows, maybe even 3.
Yeah, maybe even 3. Anyways, 2 is sufficient for Koana Aoki without the last stone here.
Here we go. So, in response, they are. I mean, it's funny because Koana Aoki they don't have hammer. However, it looks like they're in really great control of things right now.
Yeah, would you loop another one around right now?
I think so. If they can put it, I think, between the 2 center rocks, but have it not be dead straight in a line, so that there's a little bit of overlap on one side or the other, so there's no direct route from the top of the house back to the button. I think that would be probably the best. But it's all going to come down to how well they've got this ice judged. At this point in the tournament, they should have it pretty much in control.
Yeah, already 4 games under their belts, and this is their 5th game. You can see the Koana Aoki team. Koana, the female player, throws the middle 3, and throws the 1st and 5th.
Yeah, that's increasingly rare now to see a female player playing the middle 3. But interestingly, in this particular event, we've got 2 teams because the Polish team, Walczak Agostyniak, they do the same. Adela, the girl, throws the middle 3, and Andrzej, he throws the 1st and the 5th. It really depends on a lot of factors, especially your confidence in throwing weight, because a lot of times the middle rocks can require some bigger weight shots. So
yeah, and Tanida made good use of his weight on that last shot, although it didn't maybe get the result that he was looking for. Moved a lot of rocks, but hoping was one of the red ones would have stuck around there.
Absolutely. No, he can throw it. I mean, we've seen some in this event so far. We've seen some very heavy takeouts, especially from people that you would think might not have as much strength, but they're still throwing really great shots.
Yeah, and Tori Koana's rock did not curl enough, so it looks like the double is there here for Yasumasa Tanida.
Here he comes. He's
got away with it.
Is it going to roll out?
And over the top, it misses the red one too.
Wow, amazing.
Well,
so
now
red is lying 1, but yellow's 2.
But whose 3rd may become a factor depending on the result of this next stone.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're even looking at it an extra moment just to double check, because it's a factor. If you think that sounds like they're saying, Tori's saying it's the yellow.
It's the yellow. Yeah, if you're yellow, then you can just play the nose hit here, and you'll sit 3.
Right.
If you think it's red, you've got to hit and make sure you don't leave a double.
Well, I was going to say, or you could try to make a double by running the red instead of just,
make the
just
red
off nose, push it back, and nudge that one red out a couple more inches.
Well, this is Go Aoki, his last stone in the 1st end, without last rock, trying to make this red stone go away. Looking for a nose hit here. A little bit on the high side. Don't catch your own yellow here on the side. Okay. All right.
Well, they're lying 2, probably. That's an unfortunate miss. I guess just threw it out a little bit wide, or maybe heavy, and it didn't come back for him enough, which is left a big opportunity. Relatively simple, actually.
Yeah, this is an open draw now to the 12 or to the 8 foot at least to just get 1 point. Yeah, if he had stayed right there, it probably would have taken one of the draw turns away, and you would have forced it the other way. It closed off, but would have made it a little bit more difficult, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Always trying to find a way to block people's paths, especially when they only have one shot left. So anyway, here we go with a simple draw.
Chiaki, Matsumura, final stone. We think they're facing 2. Well, we're pretty sure that's why they're not paying a hit here, so must be facing 2. All they need is 8 foot to get their single point, and
2 sweepers now.
yeah, Tanida coming out as well. They don't look overly concerned, so I'm gonna guess that it'll be just fine, and it is. So it is a single point. Matsumura and Tanida get on the board first, and we'll be back after this break.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatchewan in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
Welcome back. Second end just underway. Matsumura and Tanida, they were forced to a single point in the first, and so the hammer flips over. Koana and Aoki, they've got that yellow stationary stone, but a nice opening draw. That free is really important to land that first stone when you don't have hammer right on top of that other stone.
Yeah, it's a great way to start. It sounds strange sometimes when you say, well, all you have to do is just put one on the button. I mean, it's not a big deal, and then that makes it really hard for your opponent. Well, it's not as easy as everybody thinks to get the weight right every single time. So these players play at an amazingly high level, and putting it on the button seems to be second nature sometimes.
Yeah, it already starts to shrink the scoring area for the team that has last stone. You know, the team with last stone, they've already got one in the ring. So if you don't put that first one in a good spot, now the 2 is on really easily.
That's exactly right. If you leave it a little wide or a little heavy, all of a sudden the other team puts one in, and next thing you know, now they're sitting 2. And it feels like the pressure can mount very quickly. So, well, another very, very nice shot.
Yeah, and the great thing is they've unlocked that yellow stone at the back there, so that helps create a little bit extra space for the hammer team when they're trying to score, because they can now move that red stone later on and create a little bit more scoring area in that button or in that 4-foot area. Which means premium on this shot, right? Have to put this right on top too.
Yeah, or even if it's not quite dead center, if it's just a tiniest bit off center and pushes things on a little angle, we might be able to get a little bit of personality in that 4-foot. It'd be interesting to see. Yeah, Yasumasa is actually from the north. Does a lot of his curling in the north in the Hokkaido area. We were chatting about that. They play all summer in Hokkaido, which I think is really interesting because you can actually have a pretty good summer season, and then proceed to play elsewhere for what we would call the normal time, the normal season. So it's very interesting.
I think it really helps some of these Asian teams. I know they do that in Korea as well. They start their season pretty early, and I think that really helps them get going really quickly in the beginning of the season when the cash field circuit is on, or for the 4-person teams, those slams are on. You see how many Japanese and Korean teams are in those slams, especially on the women's side.
Oh yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Well, when I was chatting with one of the fellows from Korea, one of my travel days, I was just chatting with him about the program, and I said, "Well, when is your off season?" And he says, "Oh, we don't have one." I said, "What do you mean you don't have one?" He said, "We curl all year round. There's never a time when there is no curling ice." I said, "Well, do the players take time off? Even a couple of weeks here and there just to let their bodies rest?" I said, "Some of them do." He said, "Some of them." So, oh my goodness. Wait, I mean, for us, I know you're from the Toronto area, and I'm east of Toronto, but there has to be a time of the year when the rinks close, so you can actually let yourself heal from all the wear and tear of the season.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the the amount of games that the top or the elite teams are playing, and the amount of sweeping that they're doing,
Mhm, mhm,
it is a grind
mhm.
for sure.
And game after game after game, in these tournaments where you're playing 2 games a day for a whole week, by the end of the season, you could be pretty worn out. Well,
Yeah. Well,
intern
here we
coming
go.
in.
Yep. Now, Go has backed off of this stone. I think they were trying to play a corner freeze, if I wasn't mistaken. Now they're trying to go around it. I think they were trying to corner freeze on that top red one.
Yeah, or if they sweep it enough to get around it and sit corner frozen. But unfortunately, it was a little bit heavy for that result. So I think overall, we just had a rock that just had a little bit too much speed. So now an opportunity for Matsumura Tanida to sort of place one carefully into a spot that's going to make life very, very difficult for their opponents. Coming around the red at the top of the forefoot could be deadly if they can get one in there, or if not, they could put one that's just going to act as a bit of a guard higher in the house.
Yeah, I mean, yellow is shot stone covering the pin, but the
Hmm.
scoring area is pretty small right now with the red stone right behind it on the
Hmm.
back of the button. So
Hmm.
if you're Matsumura and Taneda and you're trying to get the force here, it's a pretty good situation right now. The scoring area is very small.
Hmm. Absolutely. And if you take steps to take away your opponent's access to the scoring area, you also take away your own. So you have to really be calculating in your placement.
Yeah, I think if you're going to try to freeze on top of your own yellow stone, you got to be very careful not to, chap
Mhm.
off, roll it
Yeah,
open, leave a double, and all of
yeah,
a sudden your opponent has a double to set three.
absolutely. Yeah. As soon as you said that, I started thinking about how many times that's happened in one of my games. So, yeah, absolutely. So here we come in turn. So we're coming down the same side of the ice. I wonder a little bit about if the speed of the ice has changed, and that may be why the Koreans got caught. Oh, excuse me, why the Yellowstones got caught and over drifted. So let's
Yeah,
just see how
Tori.
they do here. Here we go. Yeah,
It's
Tori's
starting
was
to curl.
heavy.
I think they
Uh,
were playing a guard, but I think they were going for we're in between everything, right, right
okay.
about there. Yeah, that's what they called.
Yep. I'm not sure that they took away access to the edge of the button. It seems like they can come around, but let's just see what they come up with. They're looking at how many they can move with one shot.
Yeah, I think Matsumura and Taneda were worried about Go and Tori playing the double on those redstones and kind of opening up direct access to that yellow.
Hmm.
That's why they played an extra guard on
Hmm.
top.
So now we have red onto red onto red onto yellow. That sounds simple enough.
Well, it's just two colors you have to move.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, only two.
5 rocks or 4 rocks or 5 rocks. So depends how you look at it.
All right. Well, there's definitely some heat coming. Let's see how we do.
Yeah, Go sweeping it right now, trying to hold the line here. They need to hit this on the high side to get this to cut. Well, pretty good. Nice
Yep.
shot.
Very, very good. It's opened everything right up. Yet you can say that there's still yellow is still shot and is exposed, but all of a sudden access is completely open. What a shot!
Yeah, let's look at the replay here. Yeah, before, if they didn't manage to open up, it was going to be really hard for them to score two. Now they've opened it up. So, yes, they might still get forced to one if Matsumura and Tanida can make their next couple of shots. But if you get a half shot or a miscue,
Mhm.
then you have a lot more room to score.
Simple hit and roll coming up, I would say. Obviously, the goal would be to sit around in the house somewhere where you're counting two, and hopefully making life difficult for your opponent by where it's placed. Take
Yeah,
away
try
any
not
chance
to.
for a double.
Yeah, try not to leave a double. So I think if you can roll as far to the right behind that red corner guard as possible, but still out counting that back yellow,
Yeah,
that
that's
would be ideal.
the key. Can't roll so far that you lose rank to the double. But this is
Close.
get
Rolled
over.
it over. That's pretty good. I
Yep.
don't think they're going to be playing a double here. That angle looks very difficult for a double.
I agree. They are still looking at it though. I'm looking at that red guard in front of the house and asking myself, can they get by? And I think they can. They would
Yeah,
want
there
to hit.
is air. A little.
Yep.
The rocks do curl here to the wings as well. We've seen that when the power play's been on. So the question is, if you make the red double, it's hard not to jam it back on the other yellow one, I guess. But
Well, the one thing about Tori that in my observation when she's been playing is that she's fearless. Like, you could just say to her, there's really hardly any room by this guard. She'll say, no problem. I can do this. She really is not afraid to try some very, very precise shots. So this is a really good test. Presumably the outturn.
yeah,
Just by the guard.
Yep. Could you play a corner freeze on that shot stone, that red run that's on the tee line?
Sure. I'm not sure that it would. I mean, I suppose you're taking a bit of a risk because if it ever didn't exactly freeze, you could open up the door for a bigger score. But sure, I mean, a well-placed freeze is always a good shot.
Well, here this is coming down now, trying to get tight to the guard. And she is over it, so.
My guess is they would have. I think he would have expected that to be a little bit harder. I don't know, but wow.
It looks like it was only about board weight there.
Yep. Because we needed to move 2 reds. Okay, now big opportunity for red.
And to make life really difficult for Koana and Aoki.
All right. Place it so that it counts a 3rd point. And
Yeah, you don't really want to
triple takeout very difficult.
Yeah, I don't know. If you guard this red shot stone, you could probably draw to the back red one, right, and be shot.
Right.
So don't you almost want to kind of guard half of each if you can?
One that's sort of in the middle.
Yeah.
Linear middle of the 2 reds, and maybe just around top of the 4-foot, biting the 4-foot, even in the 8-foot. They're tapping their broom now in the 8-foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because right now, if you just play the outturn draw to the button, if you're heavy, you're going right to that back red one. It's going right through that same line. So.
Yeah. Well, with this rather interesting image in the sponsor's logo on the house, I'm going to put it where the brim of his hat meets the top of his hat. That would be a nice spot.
Well, I could use one of their beers right now.
Yeah.
Late at night.
I'm saying with all of these sponsors and things in a lot of these houses, you can start saying things like put it on the H, or we want to cover the I, or something like that. You can actually start talking in terms of physical spots. Yep.
Okay, that's where they kind of wanted it. Maybe a couple feet deeper was the ideal shot, but it is a draw against 2 now for Aoki. Draw against 2, excuse me, to tie the game.
So it's not quite as deep as they had originally planned, but it's turned out quite well. That's not a bad spot.
Yeah,
it's basically just an open draw, I think, for 1 point. Not much else anybody can do. So forcing the opponent essentially to 1.
Yeah, final stone for Koana and Aoki here in the second end, trying to tie the game. Red sitting 2. And this is a draw to the full 4-foot. You have a little bit of backing to work with if you need it, but you can't be too heavy or else you'll miss everything. And this one looks like it's really skating here. Will it settle down? You're going to need the backing, but it might chip off, roll too far. It is a stolen point. 1 red it is. And Matsumura and Tanida, they are going to go up 2-0 after 2 ends of play.
Yeah, just a little bit heavy.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Welcome back. Third end underway here at the Aly Jenkins Mixed Doubles Memorial. Matsumura and Tanida, they got one in the first. They stole one in the second after a draw by Aoki went a little bit heavy. And so Koana and Aoki, they still have hammer in the third end. Good evening, everyone. Good morning if you're in Japan. Ohayou gozaimasu. Jason desu. And with me is David Wills. Konnichiwa wa David-san desu. And genki desu ka?
そう、元気が、はい、元気です。とても元気です。今、面白いのマッチ。
And if you are joining us in Japan, I know we've got a great Japanese feed as well, but if you are joining us, practicing your English, yoroshiku onegaishimasu. All right.
So.
All right, third end here, and well, down by 2 now. Koana and Aoki, what do they need to do here to try to get some offense going?
Well, I mean, a little bit about placement. My comment about the match so far would be that it seems like both teams have managed the first half of the end quite well, and then things have sort of fallen off the rails, and one or two shots have just sort of determined the outcome toward the end. The last 2 shots, for example, right now we've got 2 very nice shots setting up, a nice opportunity to score multiples for yellow. But we've got a little ways to go yet before we're going to know. And they may even decide just to get rid of. They can't get rid of a guard yet.
That's right, not yet. They can't.
One more to go.
No rocks can be removed until the hammer team's second stone.
That's right. One more to go. I miscalculated who had hammer, but I think they're probably going to be in a position where they start to move things out of the way, especially when one of the teams has got a log jam building.
Yeah, and they are wanting to move things back a little bit here as well, just to start getting things off of that button area and putting those red stones in the top of the rings.
You can't help but wonder how they feel out there as well, because they've got a fairly busy day under their belts, and then they've got to play this extra game.
Absolutely.
Unexpected extra game. I mean, it's a bonus to play an extra game in a sense if you've traveled a ways and you want to, make the most of your curling opportunities. But at the same time, there's got to be a level of fatigue and concentration that's probably affecting the teams right now.
Well, that is a big miss, though. They've now left 2 guards, yellow shot and second shot.
What do you do if you're yellow now? Come in?
That's a good question. Right now, though, hard to. I don't know, David.
There's a part of me who wants to be aggressive and say, "Come on in, another one. Bring another one in underneath the guards. Put another one in the forefoot." But it has to be really nice.
Yeah, got to be well placed.
Right? Yeah, it has to be hidden. It has to be tucked behind a guard. You don't want to leave any chance to use the rock for, like you say, doubles or in-offs or so.
Well, as you were saying, this is their fifth game because it's a tiebreaker game. And interestingly, Matsumura and Tanida, I believe they were playing in that last draw, if I'm not mistaken. So they just came off their
That's
fourth
right.
game, and now they had a short break, and they've gone back out for this tiebreaker. They opened the tournament with 2 losses in a row, one to Nancy Martin, Steve Laycock,
Hmm.
lost their second one as well, then beat the Finnish team.
Yep.
Immonen and Sipla, they're also in a tiebreaker.
Yep.
You can watch that feed as well. Get 2 screens on.
Yep.
And then they also just beat Springer and Springer to get to 2-2 and put themselves into this tiebreaker situation. Meanwhile,
Hmm.
Koana and Aoki, they lost the opener to Jenny Perret and Martin Rios of Switzerland, one of the best in the world.
Hmm.
Then they got a win against a couple Saskatchewan teams, then lost, I think, to the Polish team in the last draw, and that's what put them at 2-2.
Yeah, it's funny how there are not very many teams that either win everything or lose everything. There seems to be a great balance in these round robin draws. It is strange that you have a 6-team round robin draw or 6-team division, but only play 4 games. So it makes me wonder. Okay, so who plays who and who doesn't? Who misses out one game?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's tricky to put the draw together.
Well, the top 2 seeds going into the playoffs are 2 of the best in the world. Number 1 in the world rankings right now, Sally Gill and Dean Hewitt from Australia. Yeah, they've had a great season. They've played 5 Spiels already, including their national championships. They've won 3 and finished second in 2. That record doesn't get much better than that.
No, that's right. They've risen to the number 1 rank in the world. They've taken over from our friends in Estonia, and
Ari Lil
and Marie Calvi, and they deservedly so. But the interesting thing is that Harry Lill and Marie Calvi have already got a spot at the Olympics. And,
that's right.
And Dean and Tali still have to qualify, so it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. 16 teams are fighting for 2 spots.
That's right.
In Kelowna, so it's going to be a real battle. And I mean, I won't be surprised if Dean and Tali succeed, but I also think, it's another big stepping stone.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Olympics, of course, 10 teams
10,
in the Olympic fields. 8 automatically qualify, including Italy, who's the host, and then the next 7 best nations. And those were determined not by the team rankings, but they're by the world country rankings, which is based on the last 2 years of the World Mixed Doubles Curling Championship. So Dean and Tali, they just missed out. I think they were the 9th team.
That's right.
So they're actually the top seed going into that
That's right.
qualification tournament that's going to be in Kelowna in December.
Yeah, they missed by 1 point. It was the USA and the Australians who were fighting or battling for that last spot. And the USA had to play a special final extra game last Worlds. I don't know if you were watching that, but what happened was they had the USA play against Canada to determine who was 5th and who was 6th.
That's right.
And the USA won that game, got a 5th place ranking, and got that extra point from that result that put them past the Australians for the 8th spot. It was a nail biter. A lot of people hanging over the boards during that game, trying to see what was going to happen.
Well, absolutely, and very big for the U.S. because at that point in time, they already knew that their men's and women's teams would have to go to the Olympic qualification event. So it was big for the 2 Corys to at least seal up 1 Olympic spot for USA.
Well, and the other thing, I mean, is that I was at the Olympic qualifier last time for the last Olympics. It was in Leeuwarden, Netherlands, and the 2 teams that qualified out of that event were Australia and USA. So both teams are familiar with that scenario, and only one of them has to go through it again this year.
What I will say is for Australia, this is the same team, Tali and Dean. They were good then, but they are way better now, and I think people need to watch out that this could be one of those. I wouldn't call them the favorite at the Olympics, but they could sneak in there into the playoffs.
I think it would be fun to see an Estonia-Australia final.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And those are, they've been great in mixed doubles for many, many years, and we don't see those countries a lot. But of course, you do have a lot of top teams who maybe don't specialize in mixed doubles that will be in the Olympics, including Mowat and Dodds from Scotland, who aren't quite as high ranked as Dean and Tali or the Estonians, but they are pretty close still. And if they actually played more, they'd be, they'd have a better ranking too. So.
Yeah. Well, I just think for the curling world, the reaction you would get from people with who's in the final, Australia, what? Anyway, that would be great because they are the number 1 and 2 ranked teams in the world right now.
Absolutely.
So, but I mean, we have to face people like Rasmussen and Isabella Vrana. And, I mean, it's going to be a battle. So.
Yeah, Peterman gallant for Canada. But looking back at this game, the middle has completely opened up, and you still got shot stone and second shot being yellow, which was the case we had earlier. They were just in a different spot.
Sure. No, you're absolutely right. So
now, where do you position a third stone here?
Well, I like the idea of coming. I mean, I would say around the guard. I don't think you really need to come around the guard. I think the red is exposed, but bumping it back so that it's maybe not leaving the house, but it's out of commission in terms of counting. It looks like they're maybe even doing that, and sitting just there so that your yellow rocks are in a bit of a triangle.
Yeah. Based on the weight, they're definitely moving the red stone. I think they've got enough weight to move it out completely, though.
You're right. That turned out quite well.
Yeah,
There's a double.
We'll leave a double, but this is a way to get your 2 back pretty safely.
All right. Yeah, I think a double, you could even double and roll over to sit sort of on or frozen to the yellow that is closest to the forefoot. And they have to be careful because this is their last shot, so they've got to at least remove 2 yellows and hopefully be shot rock.
Yeah, I think if you make the double on the top 2 stones, you'll be shot stone. You'll be almost biting the 4. You might even be biting the 4, actually. All right, facing 3 here. Matsumura and Tanida. This is Chiaki. They're down 2-0. Or they're up 2-0, excuse me. Trying to make the double here. She's got big weight. She's come up and caught her own stone, and I think she's made the double.
1,
no problem.
2, big double. Oh, and it even got a little sort of a trickly roll through to sit in the top of the forefoot as shot rock. Very, very nice.
Yeah.
But that was impressive sweeping.
Yeah, great sweeping. Still a fairly routine shot, I think, for this team to get their 2 points. Just needed to hit it slightly on the high side, keep the shooter around, push that red past the yellow stone, and you've got your 2 points and tied to the game.
Well,
sounds simple.
Straightforward, hit and stick without without running anything back onto your own rock.
Last stone here, go Aoki. He's also jumping up to sweep his own stone. He's thrown, fairly soft weight here, maybe control weight. Don't need a lot, especially if you're trying to hold the shooter and maybe just even a solid board. Will this stick around? It is rolling towards out, but because of that nice control on his weight, it is 2 points. Well done for Koana and Aoki to tie the game up 2-2 through 3 ends of play.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Well, somehow they managed to get through in the time limit. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, back with us, 4th end now. Just underway, you saw Yellowstone on the button, that's the Koana Aoki stone. They don't have last rock because they tied the game up in the last end with a nice hidden stick for 2 points. 2-2 matchup. We were talking about the Olympics in that last end, David, but we want to mention that Koana and Aoki, they are going to the Olympic qualification event. They actually beat Matsumura and Tanida in their playoffs in Japan for that right to make a trip to the Olympic Games in Cortina.
Yeah, it's a great event. I mean, it's a nail biter for the teams because it's a lot of pressure, but it's there's some very fine curling going on, and yeah, as we mentioned, 16 teams are going to be there that have qualified to play, and there's 2 places left in the Olympics that aren't already claimed, so it will be a real battle.
Nice freeze there, or not quite a freeze, but a nice draw to the top of the forefoot, or Matsumura and Tanida. They do have last rock. Yellow is shot stone at the moment, though.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. They're basically both teams seem to be following the same plan of action, where they're putting rocks in the center, and the odd time having an angle on something allows you to move things sideways as opposed to straight back. But I have a feeling, oops, watch out. I want to make sure that they're all ready here. And this is going to be another attempt at a draw around the guard, but not quite to the forefoot, and getting essentially in the way, forming a chain. Line looks good.
Yeah, it looks pretty good here.
Oh, it curled a little bit extra at the end. Oh, he got it by. Well done.
Yeah.
Pretty much exactly what they wanted. Hard to run back now. How can you... Yellow, yellow, red, yellow, red. That'd be very interesting. I don't know. It looks like where the broom is placed, it's going to be a draw.
Try to corner freeze on that yellow shot stone right now. Try to make it a setup shot.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, they could run the front now because it is the Hammer team's second stone, but they've elected to play a setup shot, but I don't mind this call right now. Tanida going to the in-turn here. You can see Chiaki's indicating where she wants that stone to stop. Top of the forefoot, corner frozen. Will it get there? Looks a hair light.
Yeah, it's. I suppose you could still say it works as a setup shot. Certainly getting in the way, but could have been another 3 feet deeper. I think they would have been much happier.
Yeah, I agree with you. Great camera work there.
We had a good close-up as it came in.
I was just having a quick look over at the field for the 16-team Olympic qualification event in Kelowna for mixed doubles. Australia, Korea, Japan, Germany, New Zealand, Denmark, China, Finland, Czech Republic, the Netherlands, Turkey, France, Spain, Hungary, Austria, and Latvia.
Yep.
That's a really great field. And I mean, Germany won the silver medal not too many years ago in the mixed doubles world. So
that's correct, yeah.
And they're in the qualification event.
They are in the qualification event because the team that won the silver at the following year, they didn't have a good year, and they basically decided not to continue as a team. So those 2 players are both playing mixed doubles, but not with each other, and that has left a bit of a gap. We'll put it that way. In how things are going. Mark Muskatevich is the skip of the men's fours. He's a very, very strong player. Was playing mixed doubles and has more or less dedicated himself to the fours now. So their level has dropped off a little bit. But the other thing to remember is that we have 20 teams at the Worlds and only 10 at the Olympics. So you really just sort of cut the bottom half of that group off, and it's already hard to be in the top 20. Never mind the top 10. So you're seeing a lot of very, very good teams who still have yet to qualify.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you have to play well over 2 years. It's the other factor, which is what hurt Australia. They had a poor year in year 1, but then rebounded in year 2, but not quite enough. So, and China they weren't even there. Um, Sometimes they missed some things because they were absent. The same thing happened to the Chinese teams in the Pan Continental. So,
That's right.
we've had some interesting things happen. But the big 8, the 8 that are there, are not surprising. So, I mean, the ones that we recognize, and even the Italians. I mean, you could say, well, they got in because they're hosting. Well, yeah, but they're also reigning gold medalists.
Absolutely.
So you gotta give them credit.
Well, opening up the front here, got the double peel. They were trying to go yellow into the house and try to move things in the rings, but they do get the double peel here.
Yeah, I think it's made it necessary for Go and Tori to really make sure they don't leave them any access. So the choice that they'll make will probably be about denying a chance to knock things around and change the way things are lying in the house right now.
Yeah, if nothing changes and red we're throwing next again, can you make the yellow combination and get both yellows to go away? The back yellow the one on the button might jam on the back red, but will it go out?
I think so, but your question is a good one. It would have to be very precise. I think if you hit the yellow right on the nose,
yep,
straight back, hard, you would remove both yellows and maybe one red, but you'd leave your shooter right in the top center.
You leave your shooter, so you'd at least be sitting 2 after that. So I think you got to protect against that shot right now.
Right.
I don't see any other great options to get rid of the yellow at the moment. The yellow shot stone, at least.
Is this a guard? It looks heavy. It almost looks like a draw.
It looks like a draw based on the line, or well, I don't know if they were heavy. They've moved things around. Okay, this is a way to do it.
Yeah, it's not a bad result.
Maybe that was what they're going for. It has changed the angles, and I think the angles have improved for yellow.
But you might be right. The old let's jiggle things around shot. We're not 100% sure how it's going to look, but as long as we move things around, we can. That's not bad. So we have to try to move the yellow out of the way, and somehow maybe move more than one yellow out of the way.
Yeah, they're looking at the nose double. It'll start to get scary for the for yellow. If you only got one yellow stone in there and there's 3 red stones in there.
Yeah, they have to protect the one on the top of the button, essentially. Red has hammer, so here we go. It looks like we're going right down the middle, and I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of weight here.
Yeah, absolutely. Debating the turn, I think. Would it be better to try to hit this a little bit off center on the left-hand side if you can, and still make the double so that you don't leave the shooter right there, that it's kind of opened up the middle directly, and then they'll force the other team to try to protect going straight down the middle?
I would say yes, except that I would also add that if he throws it hard enough and it moves just a few inches out of the way, that's probably okay. Here we go. Interesting.
I don't think that's what they call, but that works.
Yep. So red is now shot. Yellow has a chance to, well, if they succeed in hitting red and rolling over, they'll probably be lying 3 by the time they stop.
Yeah.
Still a good opportunity for yellow.
Yeah, fortunate for yellow that other one didn't spill further, and they're second and third right now. If that yellow had gone out, that back yellow, then they'd have to be very careful with this shot. You wouldn't want to leave a double and double for 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Up. Final yellow shot of the end. Looking to make sure that yellow's lying at least 2.
Yeah, soft weight promotion here. Raise takeout. Try to sit 3 after. It's riding the line a little bit.
Needs to curl a bunch. Oh, it's
It
nice.
is
Coming
moving.
over.
Yeah, it came over nicely, and they are
That's
sitting 3.
beautiful.
Yeah, perfect.
Really, really nice. Not much left to be done for Matsumura Tanida except throw a draw to get one.
Yeah, right here it looked like it was riding the line a little bit, and Ghost switches over to the other side to try to get some curl. But as it touches the center line, it does start to move quite a bit. It moved a good half rock once it started moving.
I agree. Yep. Very nice. Actually, that was extremely well played. I think the weight was key. Very, very nice. So they're actually asking each other what I think. I don't think there's a lot to ask.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of an awkward port going through that draw. It's not the draw to the button right now. They're drawing to the side of the forefoot. And so they might actually have to come a little bit close to that redstone that's in the top of the 12.
Or they could come around the reds.
They could, yeah.
I suppose that's there. It's probably not the easiest shot.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd want to go so far wide.
Yeah.
There's going to be a fresher path.
Yeah.
So that's why they're looking at whether they want to play this raise instead. That's just telling me that they're not super confident with a different draw path here.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the draw.
I do too.
Yeah.
But it's, I guess, whatever the thrower likes, and the thrower likes to play this raise. I'll have to be careful. If you miss this, you could give up 3 here. I'm not too sure. I would love to know whether they're concerned about the draw speed or whether they're concerned about the line having to come maybe a little bit close to that red stone that's in the top of the 12 to get to enough of the forefoot. Looks like there's lots of room. It shouldn't be really in play, but it is a visual distraction for sure. All right, final stone, Chiaki Matsumura. They're playing this raise takeout, this short raise takeout to score a single point. They are facing 3 though, and they can't overcurl this or else they could be giving up a couple. She looks pretty happy with it right now. Do they have it?
Oh. She caught a little teeny piece of the red on the top, and it took away a lot of the steam.
Yeah, let's take a look at this.
Interesting.
Yeah, maybe set it out a little bit.
Finish another inch.
Yeah, didn't need much. She's holding it straight here, but maybe held it a little bit too straight. Now she's going to the other side, but didn't really sweep it. And it, yeah, as you see, it just grazed it, took the speed out of it.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, amazing.
So a single point steal for Koana Aoki. They take a 3-2 lead after 4.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at the RockShop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. The RockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
I don't know if those names mean anything. Here we go. Yet again.
Underway, Koana and Aoki, they stole a single point in the last end, so they lead 3-2.
Another very, very nice first shot.
Yeah, they've been nailing this first shot, both teams actually, so well done. Let's created some interesting ends because there's been a lot of shots to open things up by the team with hammer after the non-hammer team makes that first shot so nicely.
Yep.
Of course, they can't do that right now. They do have to wait one more stone before they try to open it up.
One thing about the team, the Matsumura Tanida team, is that Chiaki, she sweeps a lot of her own shots, and oftentimes you'll find, like for example, if you watch the Polish team, she'll throw, but then he will do the sweeping, and she'll call the line. But it seems like the rule on this team is if you throw it, you sweep it, which is good in terms of the balance of the work. Very nice, as long as you have a really good solid sweeper. So it's interesting to watch that as it happens. He stays in the house and he puts the broom down and calls the line, and she does all the work. So, and then vice versa when he's in the hack.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I guess in that case, you can't fault your other teammate for a sweeping error.
Yeah,
you're
that's right.
responsible for the throw and the sweep. So,
well, you can fault them if they made a bad call. I guess you could say, well, you told me to sweep and I shouldn't have. So, but yeah, you're absolutely right. But there's a really, I mean, I don't know how long you've been playing doubles. The ancient rules where the person in the house could only come so far to help sweep. But the more recent rules, the ones that we pretty much know, is that either player or both can sweep at any time. So
right.
It really has changed the dynamic of who's standing where. This, for example, she's standing behind the rock here, calling the line, and he's doing the sweeping.
Yeah, I've been playing doubles for a long time now, and I never played with those ancient rules that you talked about. But I did start. Oh, nice fall there.
Yeah.
A lot of style points. I'd give that one some good style points.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a I'm tired from curling so much today fall.
I'd love to see a replay of that if we got it. I'm not sure we can.
Here you go. Here you go.
Got it. Well,
Poor
doing
guy.
a good job sweeping. He's tiring himself out. That's why maybe he lost his balance at the end there. Just got it by this guard. Yeah, and just fell over.
It's really literally he moved one foot into the other, and that was the end. Oh dear.
The blooper reel.
Yep. If you look at him on the backboard there, it looks like he's worn out a little bit.
Well, David, before the match started, you and I were talking a little bit about the Pan-Continental Curling Championships that I was playing at in the B division for Team Hong Kong, and I actually had a really bad fall. I fell flat on my back after the third game of the round robin, and we had a 10-game round robin, so that was not even halfway through the round robin, and I fell flat on my back, hit both of my elbows, had bruised both elbows, bruised my lower back. I actually wasn't even on the ice when this happened. We were watching the Blue Jays in the American League, the American League Division Championship Game 7, and some of us were cheering for the Blue Jays, as I was, and got a little bit too excited, tried to go in for a bear hug with my coach. He thought I was doing a chest bump, so instead of catching me, I bounced off of him and then fell backwards,
flat on your back,
and made a loud thump in the lounge there up at the Evelyn Curling Club.
Wow. So not on the ice.
No.
Goodness
not on
gracious.
the ice. I was feeling it for a little bit, and then the next day I actually pulled the muscle. I was sweeping a stone, and my physio guys said, "Yeah, that fall may have contributed to that the muscle pull." So I was playing injured for that whole tournament since after the third game.
Now you am I right that you hold the position of skip?
Yes, I skip. I was throwing third stones this year. Are we trying something new? But I did skip, so that helped in the fact that I didn't have to do much sweeping. But it was a challenge to coordinate how things were happening in the house.
Yeah.
Because I actually couldn't sweep at all after I pulled the muscle. Any kind of sweeping motion was causing a lot of pain. But fortunately, it didn't affect the delivery, so I could still throw just fine. I just couldn't put on socks easily. I couldn't sneeze or laugh, and we have a lot of fun on the ice with my team, so not laughing is really difficult to do.
Yeah, well, in bruised elbows will probably be an issue in the long term with sweeping. We have a lovely little draw coming in, and we're going to tap back.
Yeah, very nice.
And so now yellow is in what I would call a threatening position. They don't have hammer, but it's making life very, very difficult for the red team.
Oh yeah, the angles are so good of those top two Yellowstones.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think they're forced to take either do something to take away access to those, or to place the redstone to move it into a position where it's more what I'd say locked in. Right now it's a bit vulnerable from both sides.
Yeah, from both sides. You can definitely move it from both sides.
So it looks like Chiaki is trying to convince him to do something with the red rock, and he's coming down the other side and tapping for the draw on the edge of the button on the outturned side, which is also a good shot. But it's a part of me that's a little bit worried about what's going to happen if they come down and hit that yellow rock at the top of the 8-foot.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be pretty happy if I was standing at the back there, Koana Aoki, and getting a little extra chance to rest after that fall. So I'm sure he's liking what he sees too.
Mm-hmm.
This really needs to be made, I think. Otherwise, it's going to start to get very difficult, I think, for red.
I think Mr. Aoki is looking kind of worn out. If you look at him behind the house, he really does look like he's his body language is saying he's pretty tired.
Yeah, maybe he needs his partner to do a little more sweeping for him then.
Okay.
All right, they've decided to play this draw or this freeze to the back Yellowstone.
Yep. Basically a straight draw to the edge of the button.
Yeah, they will sit two if they make this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tanida now working hard. It's starting to lose line.
Yep. It's really curling, and that's one of the things that this happened more than once, where they left it, and then they finally started sweeping, but by the time they started, it was a little bit too late. Well, now what?
Red is still shot stone,
Mm-hmm.
but I think they're looking at making a play on the red that just was thrown, because that can be used still by Matsumura and Tanida.
And strangely, although his shot wasn't ideal, he did move the yellow rock further toward the center, really now splitting the center line. And that actually is making it harder for them to access it.
Right, that yellow-yellow combination isn't as inviting anymore. That's why I think Go is looking at playing the hit and trying to jam into that yellow and move the yellow a little bit to the right on the overhead. Then you've got two Yellowstones angled in opposite directions into that yellow that's in the top four. So you got two ways to access that yellow-yellow combination.
I think that's the shot. I think she has to convince her partner, but I think that's the shot.
I think that's the shot too. I like that a lot.
You and I should be playing. Especially those guys are tired, so we could take over and just say, okay, guys, have a seat.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit older than those players out there, and I think you're a little bit older than me as well. Not too much, but...
that might be an understatement, but yes.
I think the organizers for the tournament will need to give us a bye directly into the tiebreaker, so we just play one game in the tiebreaker, and we might be able to survive.
I'm proud enough to play the whole thing, even if I don't make the playoffs. Yeah, no, I know what you mean, though. Yeah, it starts to become a lot more difficult to play 2 games, multiple days. I'm still proudly hanging on to my routine so far, at least. So.
Yeah, well, for them, this is their 3rd game for these teams with that tiebreaker. But
and then maybe another game tomorrow if they win.
That's right. Well, these teams, they're elite. They're professionals. They can handle it.
Yeah. That's why you go to the gym.
Yeah, and these two, Tori, Koana, and Go Aoki, they are the Winter Olympic Games gold medalists from February earlier this year. So that's a big deal in Asia. Those Asian Winter Games.
Absolutely.
That's like basically it's like the Pan Am Games or Commonwealth Games gold medal, basically, but it's for the Asian region. So
right. That was quite an event. Yeah. And that one won't take place again for a little while. Is it a 4-year?
It is normally a 4-year cycle. They have
Yeah.
had a couple of additions, I think, which kind of went off schedule for whatever reason. But in 4 years, actually, it's supposed to be scheduled for Saudi Arabia.
That's right. That's right.
And
Yeah.
of course, you're very familiar with Saudi curling.
Well, that program, yeah. But it'll be interesting to see how they manage the winter sports. Yeah, they're doing it in the best time of year to try, but I think they're going to have to put a lot of things indoors.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, hopefully the curling is indoors.
Well, that part's easy, but I mean things like how do you do skiing?
The skiing, bobsled. Is there bobsled? I don't know if there's bobsled actually.
I bet there isn't. I think some of the events there just won't be, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I don't think bobsled is in the Asian Winter Games currently, but they do have skating and skiing.
Short track speed skating for sure.
Yeah, short and long track is normally in the event. Figure skating, all the disciplines, the downhill skiing as well, the cross country, I believe, as well. So, and of course curling, all the disciplines, doubles, and men and women. So.
So yellow onto red.
Well, that's what Koana and Aoki have. But,
I think that's what they're scared of. I don't think that's what they want to do.
No, so that's what they're scared of. So how do you get another one in there? They're looking at flat off of this red. It is there, I think, if you throw it hard. Try to shoot it as sideways as you can.
But then, part of me wants to see them play some defense, because I think at least for the next shot, you have to make sure that if you leave this yellow-red combination, yellow could be sitting 4. I guess if you make the shot you're trying here, if they're trying this in-off, that solves the problem.
Right. I think they're hoping that there'll be second shot after this. This is tough, though, to get this in there. Very flat. Well, let's see if they can do it here. The F1 Grand Prix in Vegas is there. So what are your bets? Do you think you can do it?
He's trying to throw a spinner with the intern because he wants to get the most action.
That will get more action. It's pretty close. He hit it as good as he could and still couldn't get it to shoot sideways enough. If he hit it any thicker, which he actually needed to do, he would have got less roll. So, yeah.
Well, you have to give him credit for the attempt. That was quite creative.
Now looking at what's the best way to make this yellow-yellow combination so that you're not opening up a shot for the red team to score the one.
Well, I think they're. I can't. She hasn't put the broom down yet, so you and I are both basically waiting to see the broom go down. But I think they're going to try to remove shot stone.
For sure.
And then once shot stone is gone, I don't know what red will have. It really will depend on where the various yellows, go to and sit at the end of this. But it could be a very, very difficult shot, a final shot.
You'd want to keep the yellows. Well, I think the way for red to get in is to come in off of their own red that they just threw and go sideways again onto the pin. So if you can block that with this yellow stone right there.
There you go.
Yeah, that takes it away, I think.
Well, they have to come in off of the red, I think.
Yeah, I'm not even sure they can
throw a draw and.
But then they even get better than third shot. They're already third shot right now, Dave. So if it doesn't get you any more, maybe you just have to concede a point. Make this hit and just concede one.
Yeah. Well, that looks like that they're thinking about doing that. I was thinking they could come around with a draw, bump their own red, and essentially float towards center, and sit one. The red is exposed, so
looks like there is a little bit of air.
And it's a draw. You can just throw a draw.
Yeah, there is some air. The question is, can you get that to move sideways enough to outcount one and or the other Yellowstone that's first and second right now?
Well, Chiaki has gone down the ice. They've decided what to do,
which I think is just to concede one.
Yeah, they're throwing a hit. Okay, so nose hit essentially on this yellow, and concede one. Keep hammer, and have your power play.
Yeah, and I imagine they would go on the power play in the sixth end down by 2. They're pretty happy right now. Oh, well, it's still in. It had a little downspin there.
I think it's 2 yellow. For sure 1.
Yeah, we might see a measure here.
Oh, it's awfully close.
It looks very close. All right, David, we're taking bets now.
Well, here comes the meter already. I think it's yellow. I don't know why. My gut says looks like just that much more red on the outside of the.
All right, Connor, great camera work there, getting a close up.
Are you agreeing with me?
I haven't said anything. But what I will say is for Les and Brenda and Rick, you're getting your 15 seconds of fame. Your Brock handle is on international broadcast.
Ooh, it's definitely yellow.
Yeah. All right, looks like it is a steal of 2, we believe. So Koana and Aoki, they extend their lead after 5 ends of play.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatchewan in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah, we are back, David, and the sixth end now underway. It was 2 points stolen for Koana Aoki in that last end. So Matsumura and Tanida, very prudent to go on the power play. David, tell us a little bit more about the power play.
Well, yeah, I used to catch myself saying this is a new rule or a new addition to the game, but it's been around for quite a while now. But the preset rocks essentially are moved to the side, carefully placed so that the guard continues to get in the way of the one in the back. But what it does is it gives the team with hammer an option to have the center of the sheet a little more open as the end rolls along, and in theory it should put you in a position where you always have a chance to get at least 1 point and probably a decent chance to get 2. So they call that the power play, and each team gets 1 in a game. You can only use it when you have hammer. You can do it anytime you want when you have hammer, but once you've used it, that's it. It's gone. So you have to kind of think about when do you want to put it in play. What's the strategy? What's the best plan? And you will usually see teams use it in the second half of the game to create some offense, or even to use it for defense where you want to make sure your opponent can't score, so you use your own power play. It's hard for them to score against you. So, yeah.
So, and a great way to defend against that corner guard that's already there is to actually chip it into the rings and roll your shooter out, which is exactly what Koana and Aoki did. That's a very tough shot to make, but the top teams are doing that with great regularity and frequency. And I'm always amazed at how they're able to do it so often, because there's so little play out in the wings like that it's almost like taking a guess at where the ice and the speed is, and yet they still make that shot 75% of the time. I think those top teams.
Yeah, you're right. It's interesting to watch. I remember when I saw some teams first starting to use it, and I thought to myself, what the heck are they doing? It seems like a really weird place to throw the rock, because you throw it on the outside, so you're coming sometimes dangerously close to the edge of the sheet to make that shot work. But it's brilliant if it is successfully executed. It gets rid of the guard, and the rock that you put into the house is your own rock, and very often it becomes shot. So
yeah, and the other team can't hit it yet. That's why
right.
That's why Matsumura and Tanida tried to play a freeze, which actually overcurled. But again, the beauty of the power play still, or the team with hammer and doubles, is yellow still can't hit yet. They still have to wait one more stone, so that's why they've gone with the freeze as well, and that one is perfectly executed.
Oh, and the other thing that I had a few people asking me about is, well, this in mixed doubles you can't remove rocks until the fourth thrown stone, and that's correct. And they said, well, then how can they do that? Well, I said, well, because they're not removing a rock. The rock that goes out is the shooter. Right, so that's fine. The shooter can roll out after it hits something. The only thing you can't remove the rocks that are in play, sitting in the house or in play. And the odd time you'll get a team that tries that shot that we just saw, and they get a little bit too energetic, and they bump it all the way out, for example. So then it has to come back, and the shot is essentially canceled. So it doesn't always work, but when it does, it really changes the whole rhythm of the end. So
absolutely, yeah. And we saw that just executed almost pretty much perfectly. They got shot stone, and they rolled the shooter completely out as well, so it didn't even leave a corner guard anywhere. But when it doesn't work out, David, you're almost like, oh, why didn't I just throw something else, because I've completely lost a shot or wasted one rock.
Yeah, that's true. You feel like we might as well not have done anything. It's a funny feeling. There's lots of other options. I mean, you can come around the guard, you can throw in the middle, you can throw a center guard. So different teams are more comfortable. There are some teams that I have noticed they've tried the tick shot, the one that they chip the rock into the house, and it hasn't worked sort of 2 or 3 times in a row. And they say, you know what, forget it. I want to try something else, because I just don't feel like this is going to work, and if it's not going to work, we're wasting our time. So
yeah, and certainly what the score line is will dictate what you might do as well. Usually the team who is, if you're ahead and the other team has played the power play on you, and if you're ahead by 2 or 3 points, like this situation, I think most of the time the team will attempt that tick shot in. If the score was closer, or you're looking for a force or a steal, then you might decide to draw around that corner and sit on a corner freeze or play a center guard.
You're right. You're ready to do some coaching.
I'm hoping to still have a few years left in my curling career. I'm definitely trying to make it at least 4 more years until the next Asian Winter Games in Saudi Arabia. I think that would be spectacular to curl in the Middle East.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll go with you. No problem. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how that all pans out. So it's going to be very, very interesting. One of my coaching colleagues coaches in Qatar, which is where I started my international coaching work, and he has a very nice curling facility now, only 2 years old.
Oh, very good.
So he's been trying to develop and improve the curling in that part of the world through events and practice opportunities and just having good ice. So we're going to see how that all pans out. But things are happening, though. It's going to be great to see.
Yeah, if you're listening to us, curling in Saudi Arabia, curling in Qatar. I mean, they've got homegrown teams, and they're building facilities or trying to use ice rinks for curling, mixed use ice as well. We do that in Hong Kong as well. In Hong Kong, when we're in Hong Kong, we play Monday nights in a shopping mall in the skating rink, Festival Walk Glacier, and we're starting a program also in the Lohas rink in a different mall as well. So
yeah, that's oftentimes the first model that happens. You called it, I think, the shared ice. The shared ice model, where other sports are also using the ice, figure skating or hockey or speed skating even. But now this one is, I think it's just hockey curling in Doha. right now. So that's much better, and it's also a more I would just say it's a more professional. It's not the shopping mall style of ice. It's more dedicated for a proper sports facility with
Yeah, the
change rooms and all the rest of it that all
yeah,
works really well.
yeah. In Hong Kong, most of the ice rinks there are connected to shopping malls. I think it's that you see that a lot in kind of warm climate places because you may not get enough use if it's you don't have kids coming in just with their parents.
Mhm.
Well, who are shopping to actually go skating on the ice, right? They wouldn't necessarily take their kids to a actual ice arena to go skating in warm climate places. You just don't think about winter sports the same way.
Right, right.
Anyway, here we go. We got a couple yellow stones. First and I think third shot. Red is second and fourth.
And we're trying to just remove one of the red rocks successfully and stick around. So now, although that yellow rock that was just played is not, well, I guess it's fourth shot, it is still going to be in the house and causing concern. So they're starting to fill the house with yellow. The ones at the back have gone far enough out that they're no longer part of the picture. So in order to make the most of their power play, Matsumura and Tanida with this rock are going to have to get something happening. It looks as if by the placement of the broom, they're going to try to freeze onto the yellow that's on the edge of the man's hat.
Yeah, try to be shot stone, corner frozen, and the other team may decide to blast it out. And if they do and lose the shooter, then you can make a hit on that red-yellow combination and get your two that way. Looks like three is probably out of the question right now.
Yep, I agree. The only way it'll work is if they have an unbelievably nice freeze right here.
Yeah,
and then they're lucky enough that they get a miss where their red is left lying in the house somewhere. He doesn't seem very happy.
No, too
Obviously,
heavy.
It's heavy. Okay, so it bumps and rolls into the open. Okay. Well, that's difficult because if the yellows can come down and bump the red out and sit 1-2 first and second shot far enough apart that there's no double, then all of a sudden the power play has basically been dismantled.
Yeah, I think yellow's second and third right now. So if you make this red go away and stick around, I think you're sitting 1-2-3. I think.
Yeah, so then they'll have to just play it for one if they manage. The only way they can get in trouble is if yellow. Well, no, it'll still be for one. I was going to say leaves a big double opportunity somehow. I think we're going to see a pretty nice shot. I think this is fairly straightforward, really. A nose hit.
Yeah,
maybe just inside nose and roll towards center, and then you're all set.
Yeah, and I think so. And I think Go's been really solid on his hits today. So he's used the right weight for the right time. And I think maybe he's using a little bit more weight on this rock just to make sure it goes out. Because even if he rolls out, that cross house double looks exceedingly difficult.
Well, this is wide.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Yeah. So there are 1, 2, 3. So it looks as if we have to just throw a draw.
Yeah.
Yep. But they do have to try to find a way to get as many rocks in counting position as they can.
Yeah, we do talk about mixed doubles. You can score a bunch of points, fairly easy, especially when you have hammers. So I think, a force, then they still maybe have a chance to get 3 coming home and send it to extras. If you're lucky, you might get 4. That's a tough ask based on the way Koana and Aoki are playing right now. But you can't give up more than 1 here, I don't think.
No, I think you're right. I think it's even if a 3-point lead or a 4-point lead going into the final end is hard to overcome. It can be done, but it's hard to overcome. So the goal here will be to keep the pressure on and come out with 1 or 2. That will make things very, very comfortable. It's always interesting watching Chiaki, Tori throw, because she has no broom. Like there's nothing at the other end for her to throw at. But she, if you watch her coming down the ice, she looks like she's got a very firm target. Like she's got a focus on something. So it'd be fun if you could ever speak to her and say, okay, what are you doing? What do you look at when you don't have a broom?
Yeah, you know what? I that is actually quite difficult. When I played mixed doubles, I actually do prefer, for hits at least, to be throwing at a broom. That you're just going so fast with the hit that I feel like throwing on a broom is a lot easier. For the draw, it's a little bit easier. You got a little more time to push out and steady yourself. And if you're a little bit off, you can still make a bit of a fine adjustment. With the hit, it's just so hard without a broom.
Yep. Well, I always talk about how when I'm playing, I use things that are behind the sheet. I often use the numbers on the scoreboard, for example, but of course they're way up off the ice, so it seems a bit strange.
We just saw that hidden roll right behind the guard frozen.
Yep.
Thanks for the replay there, Connor. And what a shot there. Now, again, you still can get the force. You got to lay down the corner freeze now, folks, though, for Yasumasa Tanida. And again, without a center guard, no real good chance for a steal. So you're trying to force, the only way you're stealing is if you're getting a final stone miss.
Yeah. So the goal here is to come around, or sort of come partway around the existing guards, and to sit shot. The line looks really good, but I'm not sure this is going to go far enough. Am I speaking too soon?
Get there.
Yes. Okay.
So.
Not a bad shot at all. Yep, because the inside is exposed, and if they hit it, I don't know if they can remove the red. Very, very nice shot.
Yeah, if they hit as much as they can, will the red spill out? The danger is if you hit the red, you hit it too thin, and the red kind of comes off the yellow and kind of squirts back towards the middle, leaving a rock kind of in the forefoot. Then you can maybe guard that rock that's in the forefoot, and then you have a better chance at stealing.
Right. Well, there's a little debate. Yep. And Tori's talking about running back the guard now onto red onto red onto red.
Is that what they've decided here?
I think so.
I'm not sure Go is convinced. I think that's what Tori's decided, and she's gone down.
Neither one of them popped a broom down on the ice to say what the line was. So, all right. All right. He's taken a good long look. I think he's sorted his ideas, and then I think the final plan happens when he gets back to the hack. There we go. Throwing the out turn.
Yeah, she holds the rock in a funny way there for that out turn.
Yeah.
But it is the out turn. Big weight, run the guard back. Looks like it's close, but doesn't quite make it. Oh, go catch that stone. I don't think it made contact with that yellow stone on the side.
I think you're right.
It does open it up.
So now, if you are Matsumura Tanida and you are shot rock, and you want to steal, you guard, or do you put another rock in the house second shot?
Yeah,
looks like they're talking about guarding.
Yeah, I mean both are okay calls.
As long as the guard is well placed.
That's correct. The benefit of going in again is if you can go in and not leave a double, you've also got the force in play.
Right.
If you play the guard and you leave it partially open, the other team can chase it. Now you're playing against a loss probably here, right? Because then 2 or 3 points for the opponent is well in play. You want to be mindful of the angle right now. The red-yellow, if you hit it from the center line going out, it can jam. So you want to make sure, if anything, you're guarding a little bit maybe on that outside of that rock.
I mean, the way the ice is curling, it's actually possible to get at that rock from either side. So they have to put this guard in the perfect spot.
Yeah, you also don't want to be too tight either, because that makes the run back easier. That's pretty good, I think, but there is some room from the outturn.
I was going to say, if you come around right through that hole between the red and the yellow guards, or you know what, you could just draw.
Yeah, you draw, you will force a draw. You could still get forced that way. I think if you're looking for a couple points and really putting the game away, this run back or trying to chase the redstone might be what you go. At worst, right now, you're either going to have some sort of an open hit for one, or some sort of a draw to 8 foot or 4 foot for one, right?
This is a great example of how when we talk about the power play, the rocks be moving over to the side rather than staying in the center. Right now, the center is wide open. And in most of the ends that we've been watching, of course, the center is fully clogged. So this is nice to see, hey, you can always draw. Yeah.
Yeah, I quite like maybe taking a go at this run. If you get rid of the 2 red ones and you're sitting 2 yellow.
Just hack weight. Oh, sorry, did you say run? As in,
I was liking
run
the
back?
run. I was liking the run, but if you could also play that hack waiter as well, around on the outside.
I think they're throwing it through the gap and trying to bump the red out and sit in the house somewhere.
Yeah, you just have to be careful not to maybe hit it a little too thin. Just pushing that redstone further into the 4 foot, and then they can guard again, and then that's where, as we were saying before, then the steal becomes a little bit more possible. We're having another good look at this. No time clocks in effect, so you can look as long as you want. Game's not going well for you. You can wait till the opponents fall asleep before you decide to throw.
Yep. Really slow handle, so they're looking for this to really curl. Oh my goodness, it seems quite wide. Maybe I'm wrong.
It is moving now. Looks pretty good if they're by. Perfect. Nice shot. Tori's saying, get off that rock.
Yeah, stop sweeping.
That's perfect.
What a lovely shot. Absolutely.
Yeah, now they're sitting 3. The guard is still there, so Matsumura and Tanida, they're going to have to go around it, try to leave it in as good of a spot as they can, so they can't be removed. Maybe try to be not over buried, but it's a fine line, because if they get too deep, you can try to probably throw quiet weight on the intern side and get it. So you kind of have to leave it in the top 8 here.
Yasumasa, if you just look at him standing in the house, he almost looks like he's exhausted. He's lost focus. He just seems to be. I don't see that nice tunnel vision he normally has, where he's focused. He just seems to be sort of staring off into the distance.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I agree with you for sure. Whether it's a little bit of tiredness, or maybe he's just not feeling like they can pull this game out.
Yeah, it's a long day, and it's getting late. This is a draw.
Yeah, it needs to be shot stone.
Some kind of cover, or by the guard easily. Now sit.
Looks okay. Looks like it's going to stop in the back of the rings, or T-line-ish. Yeah, just T-line, backside the T-line. They are shot stone. They are buried. So is the easiest way to get at this yellow-red combination. That's what I was saying. They couldn't be too deep, because it's either lines up this yellow-red, or you can maybe soft weight, hack weight, make the takeout. Would you ever draw for one and just take a 3-point lead, or do you play?
I think I would try to get more than one. I think it's relatively easy.
This looks pretty queued up.
Yeah, exactly.
If it was,
you don't have to keep all 4 rock. Like if you're dreaming of having a 4, I don't think that works, but you can easily get a 2 or a 3. And so, yeah, she's put for the intern. Go through the hole, hit something yellow.
And that red should go
that
away.
That red should go away, exactly, yeah.
All right, here we go. Final stone. A chance for Aoki, Tori, Koana to maybe put the game away here.
Ooh,
And
this looks like it's curling too much. Nope, it's good.
Oh, it's okay. They got it. Yellow, yellow. Does it go far enough? Yeah.
Wow,
Oh,
only one. Holy cow, I'm surprised.
I'm surprised that didn't go any further, but it is only a single point.
Let's have a look. We're going to get a nice replay because I thought he had thrown that beautifully. What did he need to do? Throw it harder?
Maybe he needed to throw it harder. Maybe it could have used a hair more curl. Yeah, just because that first rock onto the second rock was a little bit thin.
Wow.
Didn't quite get to the nose of that first one. So only a single point. So Matsumura and Tanida, they're still alive. Down 3. We'll see the 8th after this break.
Hey, Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting. We'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Anyway, back in the 8th, and what an interesting end to that end. I think all thought this was multiples they were going to score, but just didn't get enough action on the weight transfer around those angles, and it is only a single point for Koana and Aoki. They lead by 3. Matsumura and Tanida, they're going to have to find a way to score at least 3 to keep this game going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both teams have used up their power plays now. So we're back to the traditional rock placement, and we're going down the center. 2 very, very good shots to start off, and Red, just having come down here, has loosened up the back rock so that it's no longer really getting in the way. So we're already off to a good start. We're gonna watch them obviously fill up the 4-foot, and then we'll just see how things play out. 3 is a big ask. But it's been done, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, we are at the Aly Jenkins Mixed Doubles Memorial Spiel here in Martensville. My name is Jason Chang. With me, David Wills. We're bringing the action from the ice to your device. It is the 8th end, the final end. Unless we tie this game up, then we go to extra ends. And just a quick update, Kim and Jung of Korea, they're leading 5-3 over Immonen and Sipila of Finland after 6 ends. All right, nice freeze, or a little freeze tap there. That yellow stone now, the one that just got thrown, is in a great spot because it's hard to remove. It's cutting down the scoring area. Even though Red shot stone, they'll need to find a way to get 2 more in there to tie the game. David, they're talking about unlocking this. I think that's something that they have to do here. Yeah, that Yellowstone has to get out of there at some point, or else they're never going to score 3.
That's right. The key is to, if you ultimately get them jiggled around so that the space in between them, you can start playing with the angles a little bit. The only other option is to get rid of the center line guard, but if you're trying to hide so you can score more points, that center line guard is key. So they have to get these rocks jiggled around a little bit. The other option it could be to come around with the outturn and just sit right on the button But I don't know. I don't know whether that's really a viable option for them right now. They seem to be just both teams just seem to be tired and just barely hanging on. It's funny when I'm watching them go, oh yeah, put the broom down, let's go.
Yeah, maybe Go just needed a little bit of extra weight, and that didn't quite get the leg drive he needed to make that shot. Anyway,
Yep.
I think they've decided to try to tap the yellow-red, try to unlock it a little bit. Yasumasa Tanida trying to curl this rock over a little bit. I think he's got it a little bit too much on the high side. Yes, indeed, it chips it and it rolls out, which is not good. They needed that rock to hang around the rings, at least to create something that the other team would have had to think about, even if it weren't shot stone.
Yeah, if they have it, or they give themselves angle rocks that they can use depending on what they need at the end. That's unfortunate, but it just I got out a little bit, and he couldn't get it. Couldn't convince it to curl enough to get where it needed to be. Now this is a big opportunity for Koana Aoki, so they need to make the most of this shot. This is kind of key. What happens right after your opponent misses is a big factor in terms of the rhythm of the end.
Well, it is tiebreaker Saturday night in Martensville, and I'm looking at the scores just a couple sheets over, and Kim and Jeong of Korea, they're also up 6-3, same score line against Imminent Sipala, and Imminent Sipala have hammer. They're looking for 3 points to extend their game and try to get a spot into that quarterfinals. Quarterfinals tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Central Time. That's 10 a.m. Eastern. Noon for those semifinals, and the finals at 3 Central. Add 1 hour if you're in Eastern Time, or add a few more. Add 12, I think, if you're over in Japan.
It's you have to do a lot of math if you watch curling from various parts of the country. Absolutely. Saskatchewan, then we have something going on in Halifax, and then we have things going on in Europe, and then we have things in Japan, and holy cow, you have to be good at your geography.
Absolutely, but if you're on Curling Zone, you can find all the streams, you can find all the game times, and I think you can even set your time zone settings on Curling Zone. I don't remember if I'm correct there, Jerry. You're gonna have to let me know. Can you set your time zone setting in Curling Zone so that it always comes up at your local time?
Yeah, that's a good question. I just look at the schedule as it's set for the event, and I think that's in the local time of whatever the event is, and then I just do the math. So as required. Yeah. Well, there's a conversation going on here.
Yeah, because it's not a great spot for red right now.
Yeah, they're shot at least. They need another one counting.
I almost think because that last rock just didn't even stay in the house, you're almost forced to just go into the back of the button here.
And if they don't, they have to count 3. So this really needs to come down and sit shot or second shot. In other words, a counter that hopefully has got some kind of protection.
All right, this out-turn draw going on that board side. Now, I noticed that Yasumasa Tanida, he's actually missed a couple of these out-turn draws, board side, light and tight. Let's see if he can make this one. Looks like it's light as well.
Yeah. The ice also, I'm not sure, but at this point in the day and after this many games and this many ends, I wonder about whether the ice is holding up, and sometimes all these rocks going down the same path can ultimately start to slow down a little bit. You have to give just that little bit of extra to get them to go where you want. What to do now? Sadly, that red that we just threw is acting almost more like a guard and a hindrance than it is a helper.
Yeah, you can't really promote it in to do anything good.
No.
I think this Koana and the Aoki team, they're wondering whether they just hit the red, get rid of shot stone, and sit 3. But I don't think you even need to do that.
No. You could just guard put a guard somewhere and just
Yeah,
and then say, okay, what because if they need Matsumura Tanida need to get 3 points, they only have 2 more rocks.
you
Almost
could.
just say,
Yeah,
hey, throw the rock away and then see what see what they do. My goodness.
looking at picking the shot stone now.
Hmm. Well, there's not a lot of harm in trying.
The only is there. I guess maybe the only danger is if you pick your own yellow out, and without moving that red stone out at all, then there's actually more space to get 2 more rocks in. Right now, there's so little space. Like you said, Dave, if you
Hmm.
just throw a guard on maybe that outturned side and block off that draw to the button, it's very difficult to get any more red stones in there.
Yeah. Well, I can see them. I haven't. I couldn't tell you looking at them what they finally decided, but I can see them trying to pick. And if it doesn't work because you miss wide and you just go flying through the house, not a lot of harm done. You just have to make sure, as you said, it doesn't over curl and catch their own yellow. But this is not narrow.
Yeah, they've missed it the way you've suggested, which is wide,
Hmm.
and no harm, no foul, really. I think
Yep.
you have to go in again, the same shot, really. I don't see anything else.
Yep.
And you have to get to the back of the button, because if you're in the top of the button, you won't have room to get the third one in. So
That's
you have
right.
to be the back of the button.
You have to place it where it counts, and there's room for one more.
Yeah, then I would imagine maybe Koana and Aoki play a guard, and then if they make a good guard, you might have to throw that spinner, that nicotine spinner, to get it into the button. So we'll see. That'd be fun to watch if it happens.
Well, worth staying up for. We've made it this far and this late, and now we can enjoy some very interesting shots.
Well, that's the job of the commentators, to make sure the viewers stay with us till the very end.
That's right. Yep. Yeah, we didn't say anything like "stay tuned" because we're going to tell a really good joke at the end or something. And it's been such a riveting match, so we're good. We don't have to worry.
Yeah, if that happens, the sponsors get one more reel of commercials as we
That's
go to the
right.
extras. So it's not a bad thing all around.
All right.
All right, Tanida, you got to get this.
No,
They're going for the spinner now.
He's trying the spinner already. I worry that he hasn't thrown it hard enough. But the thing is, these spinners,
So deceptive.
yeah, they can go a lot farther than you think.
But it looks like it's well short.
Wow, is it ever spinning?
I guess he was just didn't think he could get enough curl without spinning it.
Now, are they going to shake hands?
I think
Yeah, he's
so.
kicking the rocks. Yeah.
Yeah, they've run themselves out of stones, and it is a victory for Tori Koana. Go Aoki in this tiebreaker Saturday night, Aly Jenkins Memorial Bondspeed. So they're going to book their spot in that quarterfinal, as we said, David. That's 9 o'clock Central Time tomorrow, 10 Eastern. What do you think about this game? Matsumura and Tanida, they opened with a point and then a steal to go up 2-0, but then couldn't really generate any offense after that.
I'm going to generalize and say that I think fatigue played a big part in this. And I actually just watching the teams, particularly in the last half of the game, they just seemed to drift a little bit in terms of their concentration. And I just feel as if they just may have run out of gas. But two very good teams, pleasure to watch and to see the different variable shots they were trying. But it just seemed to me that the concentration and the fatigue played a big role.
Yeah, and I think both teams looked a little bit tired, but I think Koana and Aoki, they held it together a little bit better.
Yeah, well, they had some higher pace shots, which meant that their touch didn't have to be perfect, and I think that may have made a little bit of a difference. But anyway, we'll see these guys again tomorrow. Well, we'll see two of these again tomorrow morning, and they get a chance to get some rest now and then be ready for the next big game.
Well, thanks very much, David, for joining us on behalf of Curling Stadium. Connor Sips in the production booth. My name is Jason Chang. Join us tomorrow for playoff action starting at 9 Central Time here in Martensville.
Thanks, Jason.
Good night, everybody.